as Facebook and YouTube. We'll get started after this brief prayer to the spiritual master. Om Ajnanatirandhasya Jnananjan Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Okay, so welcome once again. And let's see who else joined us after we started the prayers. Madhav Sangini, I see her there. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Madhav Sangini Mataji, and I think I heard one more be.
Mala Mataji.
You know, I won't
Mala
read
Mataji is
today.
here. Awesome, Mala.
Hare Krishna,
Right.
Mataji. I won't read today. I have a
You
sore
won't
throat.
read? Oh, no. Take care of yourself. It
Okay,
starts with a
thank you.
smile, sore throat. Gargle, gargle, gargle. Your water. All right. Okay. So which verse are we going to do today?
821.
821?
820. Sorry.
820?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that sounds much better. And then first we will do the reading, right?
Mataji, I am after Sukomala Mataji.
You have to pay to change your position, like how you pay to get your seat.
No problem.
Right?
Only
Yeah.
thing is, I'm here, but I have to pay on phone only. That's all.
You can pay on phone. I can send you the details.
Okay.
That's not a problem.
No problem.
Okay, can you see?
Where I am.
Yes, Mataji.
Oh God, I
All
can't
right. Can you see the reading order?
I cannot see this.
Yes,
So
Mataji.
small, Mataji.
Oh, yeah.
I am old, Mataji.
No, you are after me. Don't worry.
Yeah, I am after her. I am
But-
not.
Okay, I'm after Varsana Mataji. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. And Mala, you can also read, right? Would you like to read or you like? Mala?
Kiran Kosla
Padhoge?
Jyoti Mataji. Sukomala Mataji.
I think she got one Hindi Gita from her school friend. She didn't have the Prabhupada one, so she got it from her school, one of the schoolmate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But that version is Hindi version, she was saying. So I said, okay, you can listen today. Maybe next time you can start
Okay,
reading.
next
But
time
if
she
she's
can read.
comfortable reading from the, I don't know if she's watching from phone or computer. I don't know. But if she's comfortable reading, she can read. It's up to her.
Yeah, Mala, you can watch and hear others. And if you feel comfortable, then after Sutapa, you can read. Otherwise, you can skip, right? Whatever works for you to be comfortable.
Okay.
We're on 820, is that right?
All right, we are reading from chapter 8. We will be reading the translations, one translation per person, starting with Kiran Khosla Mataji. So let's get started.
Attaining the Supreme, text 1. Arjuna inquired, O my Lord, O Supreme Person, what is Brahman? What is the Self? What are fruitive activities? What is the material manifestation? And what are the demigods? Please explain this to me, Hare Krishna ji.
Hare Krishna ji. Who is the Lord of sacrifice and how does he live in the body, O Madhusudana? And how can those engaged in devotional service know you are at the time of death?
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said the indestructible transcendental living entity is called Brahman, and his eternal nature is called Adhyatma, the self. Action pertaining to the development of the material bodies of the living entities is called karma, or fruitive activities.
O best of the embodied beings, the physical nature which is constantly changing is called Adibhuta, the material manifestation. The universal form of the Lord, which includes all the demigods, like those of the sun and moon, is called Adideva. And I, the Supreme Lord, represented as the super soul in the heart of every embodied being, am called Adhyajna.
Adhiyajna.
Adi Yajna, the Lord of Sacrifice. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And whoever at the end of his life quits his body, remembering me alone at once, attains my nature, of there is no doubt. Hare Krishna. Sukharupa Mataji.
Text 6. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, O son of Kunti, that state he will attain without fail.
Therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. With your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt.
Okay, Devi Mataji, are you in a position to read?
No, she said she'll
Okay,
be on
she said
silent.
Gyan. Okay. Mala Mataji, would you like to read?
No, today I am in a listening mode, madam.
Okay.
Mataji.
I can read for her, Mataji. So text 7, right? I will take her turn. So text 7.
So sweet.
Is it 7, Mataji, right? Without fail, yeah.
7, Sutapa did just.
Yeah, yes.
So 8, right? So
8.
8. He who meditates on me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his mind constantly engaged in remembering me. Undeviated from the path, he, O Partha, is sure to reach me.
Shall I read, Mataji?
Yes, we go back to Kiran. Yeah.
One should meditate upon the Supreme Person as the one who knows everything, as he who is the oldest, who is the controller, who is smaller than the smallest, who is the maintainer of everything, who is beyond all material conception, who is inconceivable, and who is always a person. He is luminous like the sun, and he is transcendental beyond this material nature. Hare Krishna ji.
Hare Krishna ji. One who at the time of death fixes his life here between the eyebrows and by the strength of yoga with an undeviating mind engages himself in remembering the Supreme Lord in full devotion will certainly attain to the Supreme Personality of God. Hare Krishna ji.
Persons who are learned in the Vedas, who utter Omkara, and who are great sages in the renounced order, enter into Brahman. Desiring such perfection, one practices celibacy. I shall now briefly explain to you this process by which one may attain salvation.
The yogic situation is that of detachment from all sensual engagements, closing all the doors of the senses and fixing the mind on the heart and the life of air at the top of the head. One establishes himself in yoga.
Hare Krishna. After being situated in this yoga practice and vibrating the sacred syllable Om, the supreme combination of letters, if one thinks of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and quits his body, he will certainly reach the spiritual planets. Hare Krishna.
Text 14. For one who always remembers me without deviation, I am easy to obtain. O son of Partha, O son of Pritha, because of his constant engagement in devotional service.
Text 15. After attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries because they have attained the highest perfection.
From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery, wherein repeated birth and death take place. But one attains to my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. By human calculation, in 1,000 years takes together from the duration of Brahma's one day And also is the duration of his night. Hare Krishna ji.
1,000 ages, right? Not 1,000 years. 1,000
Sorry.
ages. 1,000 ages.
By human calculation, 1,000 ages taken together to form duration of Brahma's one day, and such also is the duration of his night.
So here when he's saying ages, right? 1,000 ages, what is that, this age?
100 years.
It's 100 years.
1,000 ages
Right.
taken together form the duration of Brahma's one day.
9,000.
What is this 1,000?
WhatsApp audio.
9,000.
1,000 times of one of his
No,
night. Or
High class learner.
No, cannot be 1,000 times of his lifetime, because here we are talking about how long is his one day.
so we
One day is
calculated
You
how
did
much
the
it is one day.
calculation and it was 800 something 11 full life.
I'm not talking about full life. I'm just asking, here it is saying 1,000 ages taken together form the durations of one day, Brahma's one day, and such also is the duration of his night, right? So what we call as a day here, like 12 hours, right? 12 hours of Brahma's, yeah, right? So he's saying that is 1,000 ages taken together make that much. So I'm asking, what is that 1,000 age? When you're saying 1,000 ages means you're taking an age and you're multiplying it by 1,000. So what is that ages? What does that word age here mean?
4.2 billion years, maybe.
Think about it. Think about it, the math.
Oh. 4,030.
What does the age mean? What does the
4
word
million.
age mean? What does the word age mean?
Means lifetime, Mataji, that is
And what is the
100
other
years.
meaning? What is the other meaning of the word age?
year.
Yeah.
Kalpa, very good. Right,
Kalpa.
not kalpa. Kalpa is a day. But so, okay, let me bring back the sheet again and let's just discuss that. This has to get into our head to be able to appreciate the rest of the chapter. So no 4 million, no nothing. First, let's get the fundamentals clear, right? So Kali Yuga, right? The word age also means yuga, right? So
432.
the age of Kali, right? We say that, isn't it? The age of Kali. Right now we are in the age of Kali. There's a chapter in Bhagavatam called Age of Kali, right? So age means yuga. So Kali Yuga is 432,000, right? Dwapar is twice of that, Treta is thrice of that, Satya Yuga is 4 times of Kali Yuga, right? All these 4 yugas together, they are called as a Divya Yuga. So if you add all these things up, you will get this figure, okay? So this is what he's calling as an age here in our chapter, okay? So he's saying 1,000 such ages, yeah? 1,000 such ages will make half a day or a day of Brahma, and similarly 1,000 such ages will make a night, okay? So keep that concept in your head. It's a humongous number, very big number, right? So understand, we had talked about that, right? This combination of the 4 yugas is known as a Divya Yuga.
Divya Yuga.
And I also said that yuga is not necessarily, the word yuga doesn't necessarily mean a particular span of time, like a yuga is 5 years, a yuga is 10 years, or 1 million years, not like that, right? In the context, the meaning of the word yuga changes. And here when he's saying that 1,000 yugas, he's talking about the Divya Yugas. Because if we just use the word yuga, then person like, which yuga? Kali Yuga? Satya Yuga? Which one? Which yuga are you talking about, right? But here when he's using the word Divya Yuga separately, yuga separately on its own, he means the combination, the packet that comes, the 4 together. And those 4 together keep on repeating over and over, over and over, over and over again, like that.
That is 1,000 times, Mataji, here.
Yeah.
In the combination, no, the sum of all the 4 is called as a Divya
Divya
Yuga.
Yoga. And these Divya
And then you take 1,000 of these Divya
1,000.
Yugas.
So you
will
multiply
that's
that
what
by
I'm saying.
1,000.
That's what
Right.
I'm saying, Mataji.
Yeah.
432 multiplies. Is that right, Mataji?
No,
So just add 3 zeros to that figure.
correct. Just add 3 zeros to that figure. Okay?
So how much is that?
It doesn't matter.
It's
Please tell me.
You go and read the chapter 8.16, 8.15. You will get the figure.
8.15.
Because we are repeating the figure every week and you're not paying attention.
8.15 you said? Okay, let me go.
15, 16, both, right?
15
8.15.
and 16. Okay.
Read all that. Okay? So khalyam ashashvatam. Okay. All right. So let's get started again. We'll continue. So when you're reading in the
Yes.
every week when you're reading it, right? It's not just we are just reading it, right? Also focus on it. Focus on it so that you know, right? That is a scrutinized reading, isn't it?
Okay,
Mental state. Yeah.
I'll calculate.
At the beginning of Brahma's day, all living entities become manifest from the unmanifest state, and thereafter, when the night falls, they are merged into the unmanifest again.
Again and again, when Brahma's day arrives, all living entities come into being. And with the arrival of Brahma's night, they are all helplessly annihilated. Wow. Helplessly.
Yet there is another manifest nature which is eternal.
Unmanifest.
Sorry, mother. Yet there is another unmanifest nature which is eternal and is transcendental to this manifest and unmanifested matter. It is supreme and is never annihilated. When all in this world is annihilated, the part remains as it is. That part remains as it is. Hare Krishna.
Sorry, Mataji, I was calculating. I think I came up with 4%.
I also know. I know how much it
4.3 billion
is.
years, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No problem. 21.
21. Okay. That which the Vedantis describe as manifest, unmanifest, and infallible, that which is known as the supreme destination, that place from which, having attained it, one never returns, that is my supreme abode.
Sutapa?
Yes, Mataji. In your school, yeah. Text 22. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is greater than all, is attainable by unalloyed devotion. Although he is present in his abode, he is all pervading and everything is situated within him.
Subodhni, are you in a position
No,
to read?
she said she can't read.
She can't read? Okay, thank you. I can't see the chat when I'm
Text
sharing.
23rd.
Thank you.
O
Let's
best
go.
of the Bharatas, I shall now explain to you different times at which, passing away from this world, the yogi does or does not come back. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna ji. Those who know the Supreme Brahman attain that Supreme by passing away from the world during the influence of fairy god in the light at an auspicious moment of the day, during the fortnight of waxing moon, or during the 6 months when the sun travels in the north. Hare Krishna ji.
The mystic who passes away from this world during the smoke, the night, the fortnight of the waning moon, or the 6. Can you scroll, Mataji?
During this book?
Or the 6 months when the sun passes to the south, reaches the moon planet, but again comes back.
Can you scroll up, Mataji? According to Vedic opinion, there are two ways of passing from this world. One in light and one in darkness. When one passes in light, he does not come back. But when one passes in darkness, he returns.
Hare Krishna. Although the devotees know these two paths, O Arjuna, they are never bewildered. Therefore, be always fixed in devotion.
A person who accepts the path of devotional service is not bereft of the result derived from studying the Vedas, performing sacrifices, undergoing austerities, giving charity, or pursuing philosophical and fruitive activities. Simply by performing devotional service, he attains all these, and at the end, he reaches the supreme eternal abode.
Nice. Okay. So we'll spend a little bit of a time.
I still have to calculate, Mataji.
I posted in the chat, Mataji, 4.32 billion years.
Yeah, I said before Mataji.
Yeah. Let's go through that and see whether your figures match. Okay. So this is how you do it. Kali Yuga is 432,000 years. So if I put if I put a 3 over here, it means there are 3 zeros in front of it. Okay. Dwapar is twice of this, and then Treta is thrice of this. Satyuga is 4 times of Kali Yuga, right? So if you add up all these figures, then you will get, this is basically 432, 3 zeros multiplied by 10, because like 4, 3, 7, 2, 9, and 1, 10, right? So multiply that by 10. So you get 432 with 4 zeros, okay? This is known as a Divya Yuga, right? So understand, Divya Yuga is 432 with 4 zeros. Now, for the ease of representation, I'm just writing it as 432, but in front of it, I'm saying there are going to be 4 zeros, okay? Now he said, the verse said, Sahasra Yug Pariyantam, Ahar Yad Brahmano. Ahar means the day. Sahasra means 1000. So he's saying 1000 of a Divya Yuga will make a day of Brahma. Okay. So all that I did was I said, okay, put 432 over here, just add 3 zeros here. So instead of 4 zeros, there'll be 7 zeros now. And then it also said that similar is the size of his night. So Sahasra Yug is also his Ratri. So Ratri will also be same, which is 432 with 7 zeros. So if we add 432 with 7 zeros and 432 with 7 zeros, you will get 864 with 7 zeros, right? And so this is 1 day of Brahma. And in 1 month, there'll be 30 such days. So you take this figure, you multiply it by 3, okay, by 30. So B11 multiplied by 30. So you get this figure and you keep the 7 zeros in front of it. Then 1 year will have 12 months. So you just take this figure, multiply that by 12, and you will keep the 7 zeros in front of it. This is what you get. Now, Brahma lives for 100 such years. Okay. So you will just add 2 more. So 311040, 311040. I just added, multiplied by 100. I added 2 more zeros here. So if I were to represent it in number form by taking care of all the zeros here. So there are 7 zeros here and there are 3 zeros. So 10 zeros should come after the 4, right? So that's what I've done. 311, 040, and then 04, and then this is 9 and this is the 10. So
How
10
to
zeros.
read this one? 3.
Yeah, we did that last time, Mataji. Yeah,
Million?
so focus. You focus on
311 trillion
11
11
million and 40
billion.
billion years.
Billion.
Ooh.
That is Sahasra, Mataji, na? Sahasra.
that is his life.
Or
This is Brahma's life. Yeah. 300. Sahasra is just 1000. So here, just to understand, 1 million is 1 with 6 zeros, right? So it is 10 to the power 6. 1 billion is a million times of the previous one. So 1 billion is actually a million times of a million. So instead of 6 zeros, you will have 3 more zeros, which is 10 to the power 9. Trillion is again billion of the previous one. So 1 trillion is 1000 billion. So just add 3 more zeros. So 10 to the power 9, it will become 10 to the power 12. Like that. Okay. So then keep in mind that each one of these figures is 1000 times larger than the previous one. Okay. So billion is 1000 times of million, trillion is 1000 times of a billion, like that. Okay. So also remember, million will have 6 zeros, billion will have 9 zeros, trillion will have 12 zeros. Okay. Now if you look at this figure, and let's say I can put this down, I can put this number as this way. How can I write this number as okay, so I've just removed this part of it, okay? And then I can write it as 40. Okay, copy this. Okay, so let's see. Oops, sorry.
311 trillion, 40 billion. Yeah, that's how you say it.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, 1 second, I removed this, my mistake. Okay, right. So now, how many zeros are there in front of this one?
12.
There are 12 zeros, right? Which one has 12 zeros in front of it?
Trillion.
Trillion. So it becomes 311 trillion. Okay. And then which one has 9 zeros in front of it?
Billion.
Billion. So
What
it is 40
billion?
billion. Okay. So just to remember, the 311, I'll put that in a different color. So you know this is what it is, trillion. And then the 40 is there, and the billion is coming from there. 311 trillion, 40 billion. Okay. So that's how we read it. Is it clear to you, Sukumal, or not Sukumal, Vindavali Mataji?
Yes, yes, Mataji. Yes,
Are you okay with now with the calculation?
Thank you very much, Mataji.
All right.
Got it.
Okay, so we did the calculation. Now today's, let's go directly to the verse of today, right? And then we will come back, and if there are any reflections from that chapter, in the reflection section, we will talk about that, okay? So I'm just bringing it a little bit here. So what have we been reading in the previous verses?
Brahma's day, all living entities become manifest from the unmanifested. And therefore, when the night falls, they are all merged into the unmanifested. Unmanifest and manifest, what is it, Mataji? Tell me.
Oh, I explained that last time. You have to listen to the lecture.
Why am I going back like that?
Yeah, go back. You one thing I would recommend for you is that once a class is over, next day, listen to the recording again. That way, you know, once you listen to it again, it reinforces the concept. Otherwise, it will be easy come, easy
and
go.
And then this what is the trillion, billion? The chat is there, will be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
In
read
the
the
recording,
chat.
you will hear it, Mataji.
Yeah.
No, it's the chat also. Well, can I see the chart? I said.
Yeah, so go check the chat.
Okay.
Tomorrow, check the chat also. If you don't find it, then write on the chat.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Mataji.
Like that, right? Yeah, you have to practice this. Yeah, otherwise, you know, it won't retain, and then it will be like for you, it will be a waste of time, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. So then what was it? So somebody can summarize what was it that we have been reading last 2 weeks?
Mother, one word was really emphasized again and again.
And what is happening again and again? Very good.
And Brahma's all living entities come into being, and with the arrival of Brahma's night, they all helplessly get annihilated.
Right.
So
good. And then when there is Brahma's night is happening, when Brahma goes to sleep, what do? Living entities?
We go to Krishna.
We go to Krishna?
Yes.
We are annihilated. We are all annihilated.
We are annihilated?
Our souls are with the Vishnu.
Which Vishnu? Very good. Which Vishnu? Vindhyavali, which Vishnu? You're right.
No. Wait a minute.
Garbhodakshai Vishnu.
Garbhodakshai Vishnu,
Which one?
I said.
Garbhodakshai Vishnu, right? Because imagine always imagine, you have to be focused and imagine, right? There's a universe there, floating planetary systems. We are in the middle somewhere, right? On the topmost, there is Brahma, right? And Brahma has just gone to sleep.
Oh, where will we go?
Yeah. Brahma goes to sleep, right? Not all the planetary systems are destroyed. You know, upper 3 planetary systems still remain. Some who have become qualified will move to the higher planets and continue their lives there. But most of us will leave our bodies. But what happens to the soul? Soul has to go somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Now, soul cannot go out of the universe because soul is not... soul cannot go to Krishna because soul has not completed its journey, just as Brahma went to sleep, right? And it's all as if, like, you know, you are trying to cook on an electrical cooking range in the kitchen and the electricity went off. That's Brahma going to sleep. So you can't continue with your cooking. So what do they do? What do the souls do? They will remain in the universe, but where will they go in the universe? At the bottom of the universe is Garbhodakshai Vishnu, right? They all go into his womb. And then later on, when Brahma wakes up, they will come out of his womb, and then Brahma will do the srishti for us, right? So very good. So one of the things that you all had expressed, having looked at the 311 trillion, 40
40
billion years that Brahma is alive, what are we doing in that period of time?
Sleeping
Going
in
from one body to another.
Going from one body to another, right?
Oh.
And then after that, when Brahma goes to sleep, we don't even do that. At least going from one body to another, you get an opportunity to erase your karmic reactions or consume them, and then you also get an opportunity to do devotional service, right? But then for an equal length of time, what are you doing? Nothing.
We are remaining compact in Vishnu, Garbhodakshai Vishnu.
Garbhodakshai Vishnu's womb, right? And then you all had expressed that like, oh, this is too much. And then so much of death, so much of birth and death, so many times. We are, dying, being born again, dying, being born again. And both of them are difficult, right? So death is a difficult thing, right? But then Arjuna had asked that question, right? How does one remember you at the time of death? Arjuna started that. So now Krishna has to explain, and Krishna has to tell him, okay, then let's see that, how often, with what regularity does death happen? So he's telling now, right? Again and again, again and again. And Brahma is going to live for hundreds of lives. And then what's going to happen when Brahma dies? It could be that we have still not achieved our maturity. It could be that we still are not eligible to go back to the kingdom of God, which is Golok, Vrindavan, or the Vaikuntha planets. Then what happens? Where do we go then? Because when Brahma dies, this whole universe is destroyed. So where will we go? Body is gone, right?
So we go to Garbhodakshai Vishnu.
In which Garbhodakshai Vishnu, the universe is gone.
It's done. So yeah.
Oh.
Where will you go? So think about it, right? Think about this. How was the universe created in the first place? How was the universe born?
Brahma did it. Mother dance of Krishna.
Balaji, we go to Karnadaksha Vishnu.
Yes, correct, for 500 points. Because we come from Karanodaksha Vishnu. Remember, when he's breathing from the pores of his body, these universes come. Breathe out, all these come in. Breathe in, we are all sucked inside his body, right? So during Brahma's night, you will stay in the womb of Garbhodaksha Vishnu, but you'll be in your universe. But when Brahma dies, then you will go into Karanodaksha Vishnu, and you'll have to wait there till he exhales again. So there's a lot of wait that's going on, and you all were pretty restless last time, saying, oh, that is a lot of wasted time, right? You're just in a womb, not doing anything. You have no idea what's happening, completely asleep. And then we, when he exhales, we are born again, and then again we go into that cycle. But if you're lucky to have a human body, we get that opportunity to do devotional service. So Krishna is explaining the reality. Okay, he's explaining the reality to Arjuna. Okay, so let's now continue on with chapter number 20. So he's saying that again and again, when Brahma's days arrive, all living entities come into being, and with the arrival of Brahma's night, they are helplessly annihilated. Okay. Now, in today's verse, he's saying, Paras tasmātu bhāvyanyo vyakto vyaktāt sanātanaḥ yacha sarveṣu bhūteṣu naśyatsu na vinaśyati. What does that mean? He's saying, paraḥ, transcendental, tasmāt, to that, tu, but, bhāvaḥ, nature, anyaḥ, another, avyaktaḥ, unmanifest, avyaktāt, to the unmanifest, sanātanaḥ, eternal, yaha, saha, that which, sarveṣu, all, bhūteṣu, manifestation, naśyatsu, being annihilated, never, vinaśyati, is annihilated. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Now Krishna is telling Arjuna that, okay, I've told you, Sahasrut Paryantam, this is how long Brahma lives, and then he dies. And then you are sucked into the body and all that stuff, right? And bhutva praliyate, again and again and again and again, that is happening. But then Krishna is saying, yet, I've told you about all that cycles of birth and death, yet there is another unmanifest nature which is eternal, right? So if you are overwhelmed by how many deaths that we have gone through and undergone and experienced, here is the good news. And that is that beyond this material world, there's another unmanifest prakriti or another unmanifest nature, which is eternal and is transcendental to this manifested and unmanifested matter, right? Manifested and unmanifested. It is supreme and is never annihilated. When all in this world is annihilated, that part remains as it is. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Krishna's superior spiritual energy is transcendental and eternal. It is beyond all the changes of material nature, which is manifest and annihilated during the days and nights of Brahma. Krishna's superior energy is completely opposite in quality to material nature. Superior and inferior nature are explained in the 7th chapter, right? Where we talked about Bhumi, Apo, Analo, Vayu, Kham, Mano, Buddhi, Vacha, Ahankara, Ityame, Bhinna, Prakriti, Prasada, Apareyam, Itastonve. There also he said, but transcendental to all this, there is another, right? So here, couple of things to keep that. So is this good news or what? Is it good news for you?
Mataji, I got disconnected. I have just come back.
Okay.
What is good news or what is...
But were all others disconnected? This question is for everybody.
Mentally.
My question is that in this class, we just read that Krishna is saying that transcendental to this material world that keeps getting annihilated or manifested and unmanifested, right? Then, but transcendental to that, there is another material nature, right? Which does not get destroyed. So I was asking you, is that good news or what?
Material nature.
Good news. Good news.
It is good news,
Because-
isn't it? Because we were just thinking that, oh my goodness, and I have to die and die. We're saying, no, there is a way out of this cycle of manifest and unmanifest. Manifested, you can only see manifested things with your eyes, right? If a thing is not manifested, you cannot see. Like, for example, but now when you say that, okay, so, oh, you're talking about the unmanifested thing, but here in this material world also, there are things which are not manifest. Can you give me some example of things which are not manifest? Something that you cannot see.
We cannot see.
In the
Air.
material world, air. Very good. What
mind,
else?
mind, intelligence.
Intelligence, and
Bhumi,
false ego.
Apo,
Unexpected.
Analo.
False ego, right? You cannot see. So if we were to just say that Krishna is saying that, okay, paras tasmāt bhāva, but beyond this manifested and manifested, there's another unmanifested thing, right? There's another world that you cannot see. But that is not just the quality of that world that you cannot see, because big deal. There are so many things in this material world that I cannot see. So what's the big deal about that world, right? And so now Krishna is saying that that is transcendental and naśyatsu na vinaśyati, it will never be annihilated. Right? So that is the big difference. Now, in the material world, there are changes, right? You're born, you're a young child, you grow up, you become adult, you reproduce, then you start dwindling, you become an old person and you die, right? The 6 stages that are talked about. So you go through those stages in the material world, but over there, it doesn't happen like that. Okay, there is no, so that is, so he's saying, Krishna is now saying, let's go to that transcendental world. Okay, that is where your aim should be. Because Arjuna is just thinking on the bodily plane, right? Brahma grandfather will die. So Krishna is saying, you're worried about grandfather dying now? Grandfather has been dying, throughout the time that Brahma was awake. Grandfather was dying and taking birth, dying and taking birth, forgetting. Right? And you also, Arjuna, everybody, all of us have been repeatedly doing these things if you want to get out of this cycle, right? So, so in today's verse, he's saying, paras tasmāt bhāvanyo, right? Vyakto vyaktāt sanātanaḥ. Yasa sarveṣu bhūteṣu naśyatsu na vinaśyati. That when all this world is annihilated, that part still remains. Isn't that nice? Right? Sometimes a house catches fire and then you just rush out of the house, and then you, when from the ashes, you go there and try to rake in the ashes to see what is remaining, and you say, oh, wow, my jewelry box is still intact, right? Despite the all the annihilation that happened. So that's a good news to know that soul is beyond all that, and soul will not be impacted by any of it. Right. So, but the key thing to notice over here is that this material, this transcendental world that we are talking about, this transcendental world is, it's not that it is unmanifest. It's not that it cannot be seen, right? But you also have to understand that it is existing at a different level of reality from what we understand. The only reality that we understand is I have this body and it pains, right? So it's transcendental and difficult to understand from the senses that we have. And I gave the example, I think last Sunday when I was teaching in one of the homes there, and I said that if you have a clinical thermometer, you can measure the temperature of the body. And if you look at the clinical thermometer, it is calibrated to go up to 107 or 108 because at that point, the human being dies, right? The soul leaves the body. Now, if you want to take the thermometer and measure the temperature of the oven in your kitchen, you will not be able to do that because the instrument is not right. So similarly, if you have your instrument here, which are your senses, these senses are not sufficient for you to see something which is transcendental. Okay. So when we start thinking about the transcendental world, and then we say like, okay, so what would be transcendental? How will it be like? What is it like? Right? Like we might just falsely start to think like, okay, let's compare it with what I have in this material world. Apple. Okay, so maybe if material world is apple, then maybe spiritual world is like a mango. It just, the taste is different, the texture is different, but I'll still be able to do that. It's not like that. It's a totally different ball game. The spiritual world is a totally different ball game. Like if material world is apple, then spiritual world is diamond. And you don't appreciate a diamond by its taste, right? You don't take 4, 5, 6 diamonds and say, okay, this diamond is better than other one because it tasted better. To understand and appreciate a diamond, there are different parameters with which you appreciate that. Similarly, for you to appreciate the material, to the transcendental world, you also need a different dimension, a different parameter, and a different set, totally different set of senses that are there, right? And so how do I go there? I mean, man tried to go to the moon. There is controversy whether they went there or did not go there. But then we can go to the spiritual world by doing devotional service. And that is the only way. So that's the airlines of Bhakti. Bhakti Airlines is going to take you to that planet. Anything else is not going to take you there. Okay? Jnana won't take you there to the spiritual planets, right? Because when you are a Gyan Yogi, where do you reach after you get liberation? Where do you go?
Brahmajyoti.
Only till the Brahmajyoti, correct, for 500 points, right? You are only the Brahmajyoti, you're not in the spiritual planets at all, right? And similarly, one who's a mystic yogi tries to get some material benefits for himself. So what he does is he will just keep on moving within the material universe, going from one planetary system to another planetary system, one planetary, but all material. This power, that power. I can fly, I can walk on water, and so on and so forth. You can do all that, right? So Krishna, we have to understand that the Lord's abode should be our goal. Our goal should not be to elevate ourselves to the higher planets. I want to see how the heavenly planets are. Oh, can I just see it once? Because it's a dangerous place. Heavenly planets offer you even more pleasure, more opulence, more enjoyment. And then there is a chance that you will get stuck over there. So it's better to stay in this middle planet system where we are, which is the Earth, because you get happiness, but you also get distress. And when you have a distress, that's when you think about God, right? So when we read how many times we die, when we read about the real long time of Brahma, and we think like, oh my God, right? And it's not even that, when the universe is completed, that I will go back to Golok Vrindavan. It won't happen. I could still be lying in the womb of Narayan or Karanodakshaya Vishnu. It could happen to me like that. And then that fear of death is there, right? So the fear of death arises when we are asleep in our spiritual consciousness. When you're asleep, then you do not know who you are. But when you wake up, Jeev Jago, right? Gaura Chandra Bole, you wake up to the reality that you are the spirit soul. So once you realize that the spirit soul, then you won't even bother about birth and that big deal. I'm just changing clothes, right? Bhagavad-gita 2 talks about that, right? In detail. So now the question will come that where exactly is this material world or this spiritual world? How far is it from here? You should have some dimensions, right? Somebody should tell me. It is here, it is there. How many miles away? Right? So our Shastras will explain, and there's very interesting concept there that I wanted to highlight here. Let me start sharing the screen again.
It is mentioned in Canto 5, the Golok Dham distance.
Correct. Very nice. And let me just share here my screen. Stop sharing. Right? So Canto 5 majorly talks about this universe, describing it very, with to the minute details. But here it says, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is explaining that Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur estimate that Dhruv Loka, or the polar star, right? The star that you see in the night, the Dhruv Loka or the polar star, is 3,800,000 yojanas. Yojana, 1 yojan is 8 miles, right? That's a measure. So you can multiply that by 8 to know how many miles it is, but clearly they have given you the dimensions, direction. But he's just only talking about Dhruv Loka. Where is Dhruv Loka? It's in the material world, right? So Dhruv Loka is about so many yojanas above the sun. And in the previous verses, they also tell you how far the sun is from the earth. But then he's also saying that above Dhruv Loka by 10 million yojanas is Maharloka in the higher planetary system. And above Maharloka by 20,000 yojanas is Janloka. And above Janloka by 80,000 yojanas is Tapaloka. And above Tapaloka by 120 million yojanas is Satyaloka, or the place where Brahma lives. Thus, the distance from the sun to Satyaloka is so many yojanas or so many miles. I won't even bother to read that. It's a humongous number, right? Now he's saying the Vaikuntha planets begin 26,200,000 yojanas. That is 209 million or billion, whatever it is, 600,000 miles above the Satyyoga. Thus, in the Vishnu Purana, the Vishnu Purana describes that the covering of the universe is about this many yojanas, miles away from the sun. The distance from the sun to earth is, they're just doing that calculation, right? And the distance of the sun to the earth is itna yojanas, and below the earth by 70,000 yojanas are the 7 lower planetary systems, right? The Atal, Vittal, Talatal, Salatal, Rasatal, Patal, all those, right? So they are below our planetary system called Netherlands, right? Or lower planetary system. And below these lower planets by 300,000 yojanas, Sheshnag is lying on the Garbhodhak ocean. That ocean is, how deep is it? 249,800,000 yojanas deep. So you can imagine how deep the Garbhodhak ocean is, right? Remember, this is yojanas. You have to multiply that by miles. Thus, the total diameter of the universe is approximately 500,000 yojanas, or 4 with 9 zeros.
Trillion.
Right? Yeah. So 4 trillion miles. There you go. So, and actually, if you go to the Discovery Channel and all that, or Science, they also describe that the width of the universe is this much, as our Shastras are saying, right? Our Shastras also describing it. So the interesting thing is that if you start from the bottom of the Garbhodhak ocean, then you have to go, climb up this, then you will come to the Patal Loka, the Atal Loka, 7,000 yojanas, then you climb that, come to earth, and you start climbing up, go all the way up to the sun. From the sun, you start climbing up till you get to the Satyaloka. And then when he's talking about the Vaikuntha planets, he's saying the Vaikuntha planets are so many miles above the Satyaloka, right? So now, interesting thing to understand here is that while the dimensions of the distances within the material world are accurate, like if it's saying so many million yojanas, it is so many million yojanas, like that, right? But when it comes to the distance from Brahma's planet to the Vaikuntha planet. So after Brahma's planet, the material world is over, the universe is over, right? And this universe is floating in the Brahma Jyoti, like that, right? And then beyond that, there are the spiritual planets also. So here they're saying that this much is a distance. And that is not exactly the accurate distance that is there. They are giving you some idea. Some idea that is very, very far away, like that, so that you know that it's a huge number. And also, when we talk about distances, so there are two types of distances you can have. One distance is the physical distance, right? And the second distance is conceptual distance, right? And to get to a conceptual distance, let me give you an example, right? How far is India from America? Just some guess will do.
10,000.
8,000 miles.
8,000 or 10,000 miles, right? So if I buy a ticket and sit on a plane coming to America, will I be able to come to America? If I buy a ticket for America, will I be able to come to America?
You have to sit in the aeroplane, then only you can come
Okay.
to America.
And if you buy a ticket, can you just go and sit in the aeroplane?
No, you have
No,
so many.
you have to go through so many customs, immigration.
Security and all this baggage clearing, security.
Security, okay. And what do they check on the security?
If you're carrying
If
anything.
you're the same person, identity.
So if you're the same person, so you say, here's my driver's license, you'll go? You will show your driver's license, they will let you
No,
take
you
the
have to
plane?
show
No,
your
you just carry
You
your
have to have a visa.
You have to have a visa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So if somebody is not able to come to America, one thing could be the distance, and the other thing is the visa. Right? So one is separated from America by two things, 10,000 miles and a visa. So the visa is the conceptual distance, right? And sometimes don't you say that, I feel so close to you? What does it mean? I feel close to you. Am I physically close to somebody?
Not physically,
Right?
mentally or spiritually.
Right? So there is a distance like that, right? Or, I don't know what's wrong with her. She's so distant from me these days. We say that, right? What is that distance? Right? So distance is actually a concept. And so that distance which is there between the material world where we are, right? So in the material world, you can measure the distances. America, India, 10,000 miles. Bhulok and Satyalok, so many million yojanas, or whatever, right? Billion yojanas, whatever it is, you can measure that. But when it comes to the transcendental, there is a conceptual distance, right? And that, how do you cover that conceptual distance is through bhakti yoga.
Yeah,
right? So that is why when you just fly 10,000 miles to Vrindavan, right, in India, and if you're a pure devotee of the Lord, you're already in the transcendental world because you have crossed that conceptual distance also through your bhakti yoga.
Yeah, Mataji, I was listening to one of the lectures that it is so close, but it is too far.
Right.
Yeah, so that is the concept. He is very close. He is inside me, but still I can't find him.
Right. So when you are in Golok Vrindavan, when you are in Vrindavan in India, so distance is 0. Physical distance is 0. You are in it. But still you don't feel the dham, because sometimes people go to the dham and what do they see? The pigs, the dirt, the this and the that. And then others, I still remember when I very first time, it was a very small group of 5 or 6 yatris when we went for yatra in 2011 with Guru Maharaj. And he went to Vrindavan. As soon as he got down to Vrindavan, I was seeing the pigs and the dust and the dirt. And he was rolling in the dust of Vrindavan. So clearly, there's a difference in the vision. Clearly, there's a difference in the vision there. Right? So, but once you cross that conceptual distance and you reach there, then the question is that how does that spiritual planet look like, right? So we know that in the spiritual planet, there are 2 types of spiritual planets, in the sense that 2 major. Vaikuntha means where there's no kuntha, where there's no misery, right? So Vaikuntha planets are there. But among all the Vaikuntha planets, there is one planet which is the topmost, right? What is that planet called?
Goloka.
Goloka.
Goloka Vrindavan, right? So let's first look at the Vaikuntha planets. And the beauty of our scriptures is that we will describe that, right? So I remember reading about Srila Prabhupada, and so he was trying to explain the concept of God, right, to people with different backgrounds. And one of them was arguing with Srila Prabhupada, like, I don't believe in this, and I don't believe in that, and I don't believe in whatever philosophy you are telling, and I believe in my philosophy. So the Prabhupada said, yeah, that's fine. If you follow your philosophy, just tell me, where the address of where your God is and how does he look like, then what does he do? The person had no answer. So he said, okay, if you don't know, then take mine. What am I explaining to you? Take that, right? So let's look at Brahma Samhita.
Vaikuntha planets, all the time you can see the fruits in the trees and flowers, fragrant flowers.
There you go. Yes.
And milk, all
so
the
let's
time
go
the
through.
cows will give milk.
Yes. So let's go through this verse that is in front.
Chintamani prakarasatma
shukalpa laksha bhūteṣu surabhira vipalayantam lakshmi sahasra shata sambrama sevyamalam govindamadi purusham. The translation is said, I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Who is he? He is the first progenitor. So he's the first person who creates everything.
Tending the cows.
Who is tending the cows, Surabhi, yielding all desire in abodes built with spiritual gems. So you can imagine our houses are made of wood, bricks, stone, plaster of Paris, some insulating materials, and there's paint on it and all that. These abodes are built with spiritual gems, surrounded by millions of purpose trees, kalpavriksha, always served with great reverence and affection by hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis or Gopis. And here in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is explaining, by the word Chintamani is meant...
Mataji, 1 second. Mataji, in the translation, can you bring the translation? Yes. In the last word, Lakshmi or Gopis. So are the Gopis and Lakshmis are same, Mataji?
Yes, there are Gopis in Vaikuntha also.
No, they can be called Lakshmis also?
Or Gopis.
Okay.
The Gopis in Vaikuntha, who are around Vishnu.
Yes.
In Vaikuntha planets, you will have Vishnu. Yeah. Right?
So
but then Krishna,
Lakshmi also.
Yeah, like that. So by the word Chintamani is meant transcendental gem, just as Maya builds this mundane universe with 5 material elements, so the spiritual Chit potency has built the spiritual world of transcendental gems. The Chintamani, which serves as material in the building of, serves as the material, the substance, in the building of the abode of Supreme Lord of Goloka, is a far rarer and more agreeable entity than the philosopher's stone. The purpose tree yields only the fruits of piety, wealth, fulfillment of desire and liberation. That is the kalpavriksha here that we have. Dharma, arth, kam, and moksha. That's all it can give you, right? So I want to go under a kalpavriksha. There are plenty in Vrindavan, and I can ask for something. If you ask for that a bag of nails fall on my head, then it will fall on your head, right? But he's saying, but the purpose trees in the abode of Krishna, the kalpavriksha or the chintam, the kalpavrikshas there in Krishna's dar, they bestow innumerable fruits. So these are trees give you fruits. But what are the fruits that these trees are going to give you? In the shape of checkered divine love. That is the fruit that they are going to give you, divine love, because it's all about love in the spiritual planets. And then Kamdhenus. You can have a Kamdhenu in the material planet also, right? We heard about the big fight that, Vishwamitra had from Vashishta. He wanted to get that Kamdhenu. But here the Kamdhenus will give you whatever is a desire, it fulfills your desires, right? And they will give you milk when they are milked. But the Kamdhenu of Goloka, they will pour forth oceans of milk. What type of milk? In the shape of foundation of love, showering transcendental bliss that will brew away, right? With the hunger and thirst of all the pure devotees. The pure devotees are not hungry for, I want a Coca-Cola, I want this, and they're hungry for love, right? The words laksha means lakh, right? Or one with 5 zeros. And
Right.
sahasrashat means signify endless number. Sahasrashat means 100 and sahasra means 1,000. So hundreds of thousands signify endless number. So they're endless in number. And sambrama or sadar indicates being saturated with love. Here Lakshmi denotes Gopi in the sense that if you are talking about that one and only one spiritual planet, that there Lakshmi will mean gopis, but in the other Vaikuntha planets, Lakshmi is the consort of Vishnu. Adi Purusha means he who is the primary Lord when we are talking about that, right? So this is how it is. Now I wanted to also bring up find one more verse, and this is from the third or fourth canto, and this is related actually, and I'll just pick up a few verses from there. This is related actually to the story of the four Kumaras and how they went to the Vaikuntha planets, right? So those Vaikuntha planets will be described. And let me see, where was
Mataji,
it?
I had one question. Can I ask now or should I keep it for later?
Yeah, go ahead. You can ask while I'm searching for it.
So, what is checkered divine love?
Yeah, let's look up the word checkered. And a pattern of alternating square or histogram. Literally, it describes something with a pattern of alternating color. Checkered, right? He had a checkered career, right? He has a checkered personality, they say. So checkered divine love will mean that is his love in different colors. Now, can somebody tell me how does love come in different colors?
Yeah, and
Love
like
with God?
Rainbow.
Vatsalya,
Dasya.
Dasya, Madhurya, Sankhya.
Sankhya, right? That's how you, not Sankhya, Sakhya.
Sakhya.
You get love of God in these flavors. So checkered means flavored or colorful, colored, like that.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm thinking of pregnancy. Okay, let me go to Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, where there's very nice description of Canto 4 in the way of Kingdom of God. Kingdom of God. Where is Kingdom of God? Let me search for Kingdom of God. Oh, sorry, not 4. This is in Canto 3. Kingdom of God. I'll find it now. Yeah. Description of the Kingdom of God. And let me bring it up. And I won't go read all of it. I just want you to highlight certain features of the Kingdom of God. And,
that was so beautiful, Mataji. We are going in the morning class, Bhagavatam class. So the description of the Vaikuntha.
Yeah, there you go.
So beautiful. But the only thing is, if we go there, we do any sins, then we'll come back. But otherwise, stay there forever. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Description of the Kingdom of God. I'm just going to jump over.
Yeah. Maitreya Muni, yeah. This is what we're going
In the Vaikuntha planets, all residents are similar in form to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They all engage in devotional service to the Lord without desires for sense gratification. In the Vaikuntha planets is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the original person and who can be understood through the Vedic literature. He is full of the uncontaminated mode of goodness with no place for passion or ignorance. He contributes religious progress for the devotees. In those Vaikuntha planets, there are many forests which are very auspicious. In those forests, the trees are desire trees, kalpavriksha. And in all seasons, they are filled with flowers and fruit because everything in Vaikuntha planets is spiritual and personal. In the Vaikuntha planets, the inhabitants fly in their airplanes, accompanied by the wives and consorts, and eternally sing of the character and activities of the Lord, which are always devoid of all inauspicious qualities. While singing the glories of the Lord, they deride even the presence of blossoming Madhavi flowers, which are fragrant and laden with honey. Now, this is very important. When the king of bees, right, hums in a high pitch, you know how the bees go like that, right? Brahmar. singing the glories of the Lord. But what is the bee doing? Singing the glories of the Lord. There is a temporary lull in the noise of the pigeon, the cuckoo. You know, cuckoo sings so beautifully. The crane, the chakravak, the swan, the parrot, the partridge, and the peacock. All these superior birds, right? They just stop singing. Such transcendental birds stop their own singing simply to hear the glories of the Lord. Right? So that is the mood. Although the flowering plants like the mandar, kunda, kurabak, putpala, champak, arna, punanga, nagakeshara, bakula, lily, and parijat are full of transcendental fragrance, they are still conscious of the austerities performed by Tulsi. For Tulsi is given special preference by the Lord, who garlands himself with the Tulsi leaves. The inhabitants of Vaikuntha travel in the airplanes made of lapis lazuli, emerald, and gold. Imagine a gold aeroplane. Although crowded by their consorts, who have large hips and beautiful smiling faces, they cannot be stimulated to passion by their mirth and beautiful charm. The ladies in the Vaikuntha planet are as beautiful as the goddess of fortune herself. Such transcendental beautiful ladies, their hands playing with lotuses and their legs and their leg bangles tinkling, are sometimes seen sweeping the marble walls, which are bedecked at intervals with golden borders, in order to receive the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, goddess of fortunes worship the Lord in their own gardens by offering tulsi leaves on the coral paved banks of transcendental reservoirs of water. While offering worship to the Lord, they can see on the water the reflection of their beautiful faces with raised noses, and it appears that they have become more beautiful because of the Lord's kissing their faces. It is very very regrettable that unfortunate people do not discuss the description of the Vaikuntha planets. So this means we are fortunate because we are discussing the description of the Vaikuntha planets. That it's unfortunate people do not do that, but engage in topics which are unworthy to hear and which bewilders one's intelligence. Those who give up the topics of Vaikuntha and take to talk of the material world are thrown into the darkest region of ignorance. Now, so imagine, like, the men in the Vaikuntha planets, the Vaikuntha, not Golok Vrindavan, the men in the Vaikuntha planets will all be like, will have 4 hands. They all look like Vishnu. So Jay and Vijay, 4 hands. So they'll have those kind of features there. Their wives will be as beautiful as Lakshmi. But then you also see that there are other creatures also, right? There are kakus, there is bees, so there are other shapes also which are there. But the beauty of the Vaikuntha planet is that it is absolute. So there's no difference between a bee and the Lakshmi there. There's no difference between a bee and a cuckoo, a bee and a peacock. That's why you see everybody is just focused on one thing, and that is to hear the glories of the Lord. And which is something that is also encouraged for us here, right? Hear and chant, or sit down, listen to Krishna Katha, right? Your progress in devotional service is directly proportional to your desire to hear Krishna Katha, like that, right? So that concept of hearing glories of Krishna is there even in the transcendental planets. And that is what we will continue to do. And that is the only thing that gives you pleasure, right? You can go and have a pizza, you can order a pizza, eat it today. After 5 minutes, it's gone. And then the fear arises, right? I had so much of cheese, what do I do with it now? But if you listen to Krishna Katha, it is unending. You will never be saturated with that, You will never be full. You'll always want to have more. And every time you hear Krishna Katha, you'll enjoy it even more, like that. So I'll stop here. We are 10 minutes past Sutapa's sleeping time. I think she has already left. But if there are any questions, I can take it for 5 minutes, maybe. Any questions?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. So, how does the bee get the form of bee in Vaikuntha? Is it the desire to become a bee there?
So, a person can be worshipping Krishna even in the form of a bee, right? And when you are saying that how can a bee be in a form of a bee, you are distinguishing between the bee and the flower, the bee and the bird, the bee and the 4-handed form. But our intellect cannot understand that it is one and the same. Prabhupada says that in the purports in the 5th canto from where I brought this. He explains that and he says that they are on the absolute plane. So bee is a bee. So when people have got, when you get liberated and go to the Vaikuntha planets, right? Not liberated and getting into the Brahma Jyoti, but when you're liberated, there are different kinds of liberations you can get, right? Samipya, you will live on the same planet as Krishna. Sarupya, you will have the same form as Krishna. So depending on the kind of desire that you had, somebody might just say, yeah, I want to just be a bee and just sing the praises of Krishna. So he or she will become a bee over there, right? Samipya, Sarupya, like that. So in the Vaikuntha planets, there will be different shapes. They will be doing different things, but on an absolute plane, it is still a soul. It is still a soul there, right? And they will, that is how the soul is. That is the surup of the soul.
So basically, everyone is same other than Lakshmi and Vishnu. Everyone else is on the same plane. Is that right way to understand?
Correct. Same plane of devotional service.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
Yeah.
So Mataji, Radharani and Lakshmi, they are the same, right?
Radharani and Lakshmi are not the same. Lakshmis are expansions of Radha.
They are expansions of Radha.
Expansions, yeah. So sometimes when you expand, they might not be 100% the same, or might not manifest all of the qualities of Radha.
Yeah, so may not be having all the opulences which Radharani has.
Radharani has, or all the devotional service like that, yeah. Or all the humility.
Imagining itself is so beautiful.
Yes.
What happens when we go there? No?
Yeah.
I don't know. I cannot think about it, but
everybody must be thinking the same. You see, whether it's a bird or a bee, because they must be taking the concept of soul. We all are souls.
That's
so whether they are birds or insects or whatever, so they are the same. They are just glorifying the Lord.
Yes, and that's the only duty.
Yeah.
Right? Katha ganam, natyam gamanam. Api vanchi priya sakhi. Right? So in the Vaikuntha planets, even when people katha ganam, what does that mean, katha ganam? Right? Katha ganam means when they talk, they will talk in songs. Right? So Krishna was talking to Arjuna in a song, right?
Yeah, in a song.
Bhagavad-gita.
It's a song.
Right? Gopi Geet. The gopis were talking to Krishna. And it is so, let me bring up the Gopi Geet, a little part of it. I just wanted, let me show something.
Is Kunti prayers and Prahlad Maharaj prayer also is in the form of a song?
Yeah.
Shlokas, right? Shlokas that rhyme, right? So look at this, the beauty here of Gopi Geet, right? So notice that trying to write Sanskrit and speak in Sanskrit is not an easy thing, but you will notice that they are maintaining a sort of some sort of a pattern. See, Jayati te dhikam, janmana vraja, J and J, right? Shrayata indira, shashvat atrahi, Sha and Sha, right? Daita drishyata, dikshu tavakas, Da and Ada. Listen, don't sing. Right? Tvai dita savas, tvam vichinvate. T and a T. So it repeats, it's the same letter will repeat. And they do that pattern throughout, not maybe in every of the verse, but, Visha Jalapiyad Vyada.
No, it's in most of the
Varsha
verses.
Marutat, Varsha Matmajat Vishwato Bhyad, Rishabhate Bhyam Rakshita. Except for a few places here and there, they have maintained that. So it is not just simple Gana that they are singing. Sometimes we also used to sing Mammi Kana De Do, like that. Not that singing, but it's a singing of a different caliber, the singing that they're doing. And Natyam Gamanam, when they walk, it looks like as if they are dancing. Like that. So it's a totally different people. But can you imagine? We see one dance performance and we get so mesmerized by that. Imagine people are doing that all the time. They walk like that, right? Like a dance.
Mataji, you just brought Gopi Geet. Just bring it again. I want to ask one question, Mataji. The first line. Yes, Mataji. Jayati te dhikam. So, Mataji, the comma is on top. will there be a, how do we pronounce this?
adhikam.
Just as it is written.
Yeah.
Jyati te dhikam.
Yes, that's
right?
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So whenever in the shlokas in Bhagavad-gita also it comes like this. So we are not supposed to pronounce A in between, because many people say that A should be there.
No, that is wrong.
Okay.
It should sound like that. That's
Jyati te dhikam. Yeah.
It sounds like that, but we don't use
Oh, correct.
Jyati te dhikam, like that. Comes like that.
You see
Mataji,
here
so our
also?
visa to Goloka is
assured.
Devotional service.
Mataji, which day is thing? This Gopi Geet, Krishna songs. What is that? Where it?
Where do you find it? Canto 10, chapter 31.
1 to 19.
10 and 30. 10 and 30.
Canto 10, chapter 31.
Mataji, one question. You mentioned, maybe I may understood it wrong. You mentioned there everyone has 4 hands in Vaikuntha. Is that correct or no? Right?
No, the men. When you have a human form, you will, instead of having 2 hands, you will have 4 hands. You look like Vishnu. Like you see, if you go to Los Angeles, Temple ISKCON Los Angeles, and you see there is Jay and Vijay by the altar, they look like Vishnu, right? Blue color, right? They have 4 hands, like that.
So everyone who is born as like a human kind, they have 4 hands. Is it
right? Yes.
Oh, and why would that be?
Because that is one form of mukti that is known as sarupya. You will have the same roop as Vishnu.
Where can I read about the mukti? In which canto? Or
I think I don't know about cantos, but it is definitely mentioned in the Nectar of Devotion.
Nectar of Devotion.
Nectar of Devotion.
Will have that. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Mataji, you said 10th canto. Gopi Geet, where is
31 chapter.
Huh?
31 chapter. Right, Mataji?
Yeah.
10th canto, 31 chapter. Okay.
I think we should let Mataji go. It's already.
Mataji, you had given Gopi Geet to all of us in the group, Mataji. It is there.
I was not there at that time.
Bhakti Vriksh. In the Bhakti Vriksh we have Gopi Geet, Mataji. You had sent once. Yes, you had given.
Nice.
Anyway, I'll try this.
और कोई प्रश्न है?
आप नहीं जाना है.
She's telling you not to go.
That is the final question है.
Okay, let's sit.
हमको नहीं छोड़ना है.
And chant.
हमको नहीं छोड़ना है. See,
Thank you, Mataji. Such a beautiful class. Really.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you for beautiful participation and nice questions. And
all the things, Mataji, Vaikuntha describing Vaikuntha planet, and then Gopi Geet. That's all. I'll get in dream.
Huh?
In the previous birth, you must be a saint. I don't know what was left. You came again.
Okay. Thank you. That's going to bloat my ego. Now it's time to stop the class.
I'll get the dream, Mataji.
No, not that.
Thank you, Mataji, for a wonderful
Thank you
class.
so much, Shraddha Mataji.
Okay, let's
Thank
do
you very much,
Mataji.
Kripa Sindhu Vaishnavam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah.
Good to see you
Gaur
very much.
Premanande, Hare
Again,
Krishna.
give us the knowledge.
Hari Bol.
Krishna.
Hari Bol.
Thank you.